Hey friends, my name is Mitch and I designed an Arkham Horror 3rd edition. Here's the box lid. Arkham Horror 3rd edition custom insert out of foam board that I got from Michaels. So here is the manual. They go on top. Manuals, they go on top. And here is the actual insert. So you have two trays. You have this tray, which contains your smaller cards up here, and you can see I got lots of room for an expansion. I designed it to where it should be able to handle one expansion. So let's assume that they double the amount of cards, should be able to handle that quantity of cards. So then you have the health, money, insanity tokens, and then over here you have your investigators. So here are your investigators, and then your tokens here, and then your clue pile, and then piles of the other tokens right here. So you just grab this out of the and take it to the table. You need to draw a card. You just grab a card out of here dynamically, whatever. Okay, so the next insert contains all of the larger cards, and again, I designed it so that you pretty much have room for probably double the space. So if they release an expansion, a lot more cards, then we still have room in here for that. And again, you just take that to the table. If you need a card, you can just draw a card from here. You don't really need to take a lot out. So that is the second tray. Alright, so the bottom contains your color card holder over here in this slot. And you can see we can handle double the amount of tiles. So if they release 5, 6 more locations, there's no problem. It'll fit right in here, no issues at all. So we got plenty of room for expansion in there. Got the streets, got your dice and standees, and then you have your section of the table there. And then we have our investigators over here. And again, lots and lots of room. You could have 5 times more investigators and still have room. So lots of room for expansion. Fits right in. And then after you're done, you just take your trays to here, put them back in, put your manuals on top. The box lid does stick out a little bit. Let me show you how much, but I sort of needed to have that in order to have this much room for expansion. So you're sticking up about that much extra, but still, everything fits in there, and when they release an expansion, you're all set and ready. So here is the basic design of this. We need to incorporate all these components, and we need to ensure that after a expansion is released, we have enough room to fit the expansion content plus the current content that we have here. So most times expansions will have more tiles and more cards. So what I did was I put the card, tile, and streets at the very bottom, and then I'm going to make something to separate them and support them. So that's going to be this, and you can see the measurements there, which is going to be a little track that runs in between things, and the track will allow us to put inserts on top, and then we can get the inserts and take them out and put them on the table. So here we go. So this is a permanent, these are permanent things that you really don't use once you start playing. So we put them at the bottom, there's a zoom out, then we hold them in place, and you can cut corners to make 45 degrees if you want. Not really necessary, but I did it just because it fits better. So there's all your pieces, and then you have extra slots for things like the card holder, for example. So now you can put your card holder in here, and on the other side I put the bigger piece of the card holder so it's not all jammed in there. So that's your basic design for the bottom section. So you can see up top here, now we fill the space with dice, card standees, and you can see that juts out a little bit, which is fine because the whole thing juts out a little bit just to make room. So here we go with the next part, which is our insert. So we need to make the insert big enough for the card plus the sides So we're doing measurements here. You can sort of see the measurement for this insert. This will hold the bigger cards. And again, we want to have lots of extra room. So here's the sides glued in, and I'm starting to fit in the cards. You got nice and plenty room there for the card to, not be jammed in and get damaged. So here we go with the little barriers, separators between the cards. And I'll put just a little dip in there so it's easy to reach in and grab the card. So now here we go. So we weigh it down with this Seinfeld box. I mean, come on. Seinfeld and Cthulhu, that's a match made in heaven. And then we sort of stage our cards while we wait for it to dry. So now that it's dry, here's the final product. Again, we just put the inserts in and we leaned them so the cards have a nice lean so they're not sticking up too high. And again, plenty of room for expansions. And here it is inside of the box. So it fits in great. You grab it, take it to the table, and you don't need to have 1,000 little places to put the cards. You can all have it in one spot, for the main cards. So here's the bigger insert that will fit all of the tokens and the smaller cards. So I had to decide, do I want to make the smaller cards go lengthwise or make them in a smaller section? And the obvious answer was a smaller section because we have a lot of tokens. So here's the final design here. So we have the cards on the right side there. And then in the middle, we're going to put a separator in the middle and just have all of our tokens in there. And again, grab this, take it to the table, and you have all your tokens and everything. So here's the final product. I mean, not super professional, but whatever. So that pretty much is how this is built. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and thank you for watching.